visitor Nyayo National Stadium. In the next 80 minutes, this ground is going to give us the winner of the 2022 Under-20 Barthes Trophy champion. Will it be Namibia or Zimbabwe? From Windhoek in Namibia to Harare in Zimbabwe to Nairobi in Kenya, a continent is going to hold her breath for the next 80 minutes to know this year's champion. A clear indication that these two are the chosen. And here tradition runs deep and only the reverent shall rise. They can see the trophy at the finish line. Who is going to finish the line first? It is Namibia versus Zimbabwe for the match of the day and the final of this year's edition of the Under-20 Barthes Trophy Rugby Tournament. These two teams are coming into this final, Namibia having eliminated the reigning champions, and on the other side, Zimbabwe having beaten Madagascar. The two who've just played with Kenya winning 49-15 against Madagascar were last year's finalists, meaning that these two have replaced them in the top spot for a chance. Hello Africa and welcome to the Nyayo National Stadium. My name is Chris Migwambo. I'm going to be your host for the final of this year's edition, and to help me analyze and put into perspective this final is a man who understands rugby and also writes about rugby in this country. Alex Jue, welcome again to this build-up. Looking at the matches that we've seen, that is the fifth place playoff and also the third place playoff, which was your game of the day as far as the playoffs is concerned.
Looking at the matches today, they have shown us that the under-20 teams were very hungry for this title. Despite their placements, as you can see, Zambia finished number 7, number 8 was Ivory Coast, number 6
is Zambia.
Number 6 was taken by Uganda after their loss to Tunisia. Then Kenya winning 3rd place against Madagascar with a very big score. So now we're headed to the final match of the day, which is the highlight match.
And then even as we talk about the final today, we are having a big one. These two sides have shown character, they've shown the depth, and they've shown the style of play required in a tournament. As we look at Namibia's last game results, they've had a good one. They're coming here having beaten Cote d'Ivoire in their first match 62-0, and also it's a team that has also shown character. They played against Kenya, reigning champions. They eliminated Kenya. Kenya only managed 1 try.
Yes.
This is a team that is coming here having already given us the signs that we are here for the title.
Yes. Namibia will be coming to this game very hard after being able to beat Kenya by 19-5, by 16-5.
Yeah, 16.
That was a very good show. If you can remember, the number 10, the number 15, the number 8 were very, very good. Were actually on in their matches on that particular day. And in this final today, this is the 3rd cup final for Namibia, and it will be the first for Zimbabwe.
So to mean these are two sides that knows pretty well that everything is on the line and you have to be clinical. The errors we've seen before should not apply at this stage.
Yes.
Here it's you blink, you miss.
Yeah, Namibia will be very, very clinical in this game. If you can take a look at their previous matches, they took whatever points they could manage to take. That means that when they get a chance to get a penalty, they just go straight for the 3 points. When they get an opportunity to go for the line-out, they'll go for the line-out, try to form a maul. But against Zimbabwe, it's going to be a very difficult match.
Talking about Zimbabwe in their last matches, actually their first game they played against Tunisia, winning by a point, 19-18. And then their second game was against the 2021 finalist Madagascar, winning by a big margin, 32-3. This is a result that is going to give them the confidence of facing Namibia, Alex.
Yes, they have the confidence, but defensive-wise, they're going to be up to task.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an easy match against Namibia. If you can see, Kenya only managed to score just 5 points, just a single try in an entire 80 minutes. That tells you that Namibia is going to fight. They're going to put their bodies on the line. They're going to try to take whatever points they're going to get early in the game. I can remember we spoke to the coach. The coach said that, told the players that they should not consider trying the first half against Kenya, and they should make sure that they score more points. They should go for a lead, and the lead was captured through 2 penalties. So I expect this game to be a kicking game. Number 10, Namibia, and their number 15 against number 10 and 15 of Zimbabwe.
Talking about Zimbabwe, they had a player sent off, the first one in this tournament. Discipline have to play a key role for them, and also they have to be very, very humble and sportsman. They have to apply sportsmanship in each and every tackle and each and every flow they'll have in this tournament.
Yes, Zimbabwe will have to be very, very disciplined in this game, considering in their previous match they lost their fullback to a red card. And what that tells you is that this match, they will not be looking forward to make any kind of mistakes, but they'll be very, very keen to punish their opponents' mistakes.
And then talking about the squads that has already been named, here is Coach Chrisanda Barthes' first 15. There is Jano Otto, Frederick Grobela, Philippus Shuya, Cornhill Dragohedla, Gregory Namaseb, Ray Ferris, Alexander Jansen, Ryan Groove, Ola Blau, Rashano Van Rooy, Quiron Majit, Patrick Kasten, Neil Holzhausen, Jonathan Hanekom, and Geraldo Books. This is a squad that actually played well against Madagascar, actually against Kenya, and they won. Looking at Geraldo Bukes and also Ryan Groove, they are players who had a try in that Kenya's big beating in this tournament. What do you take of this squad, Alex?
The Namibian squad looks good. I see their number 15, Geraldo Bukes, is going to start. And their 15, their fullback, is very, very crucial for their backline in their set pieces and in their attacks. That's why their fullback tops the top point scorer.
And then if you go back to beating Kenya and also having the biggest margin in this league, I'm told this is a team that is having players who are playing in the, let's say, the quote-unquote Kenya Cup of Namibia, and also some of them are also playing in South Africa's rugby leagues. A clear indication that it does not only come, it doesn't start here, it starts from home and the leagues that you play.
Yes, 12 players from the Namibian side play in the Varsity League of South Africa, and a couple of players from the Zimbabwe side also play in South Africa. So what that tells you is that today is going to be a match that's going to be tactical, as a match that the team that will take the first points will be keen to maintain the lead to the end.
And even as we talk about Namibia, that win against Kenya gives them everything to go for in this final and believe that they have what it takes to win it. Kenya, they've said, we've interviewed the coaches here before, they're saying Kenya were the favorites. Kenya finished third. Beating Kenya 16-5 was a statement of intent.
Yes.
And they are coming here knowing that Madagascar was in the final, a tournament they did not perform in or did not take part in due to COVID-19 situation. Can Zimbabwe stop them?
Yes, I believe Zimbabwe can stop Namibia. If you can take a look at the semi-final match against Kenya, Kenya controlled the match and had about 60% of the possession. The only thing that went wrong for Kenya was its execution.
Yeah.
Kenya failed to execute despite the numerous chances they had in the match. But given a match against Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe is a bit technical, a bit tactical, and also very, very clinical with their kickers. And I believe Zimbabwe can win this match.
And talking about Zimbabwe winning this match, coach Sean D'Souza has named his first 15, and they are Farahi Madzima, Malon Guwiriro, Tomu Voga Msasanure, Tamuka Kambani, Simbarashe Siraha, Tanako Ndoro, Tendai Chimyaya, Tanako Gondomka Ndapi, Panashe Zuze, Takudzwa Musugwini, Liberty Sibanda, Alex Nyamunda, Tavonga Ablant, Tanaka Ndabambi, and then finally here is Brendan Marume. This is a good squad, Alex, and looking at the Shooters' style is more of going to do with the flankers, and he's not going to concentrate the game in the midfield.
Yes, Zimbabwe is going to deploy a forwards game, and their big forwards will be very crucial to gain yards for their backs. And in the process of attacking, especially in Namibia's 22, they could get a couple of penalties. And if their number 10 is up to it, then Zimbabwe can lead this match at halftime.
Talking about Zimbabwe leading at halftime, they are facing a team that has shown a character and has shown perfection in each and everything. We talked about the captain, Namibia's captain, taking each and every penalty and doing the rest.
Yes, but if you look at Zimbabwe, how they play, their number 9 and 10 link very well, and their tight 5 are players who, if you deploy them in their opponent's 22 or in their 5, they can absolutely get you a try from that.
And then talking about now Zimbabwe coming into this match, some of the decisions they have to make and how should they just make sure that they've contained Namibia in the first half. We've seen Namibia going so strong and going so big, firing at all cylinders in the first 40 minutes.
What Zimbabwe needs to do, they should try as much as possible to avoid playing in their own 50. They should play in Namibia's 50 and try to look for penalties from that.
And then if you look at Zimbabwe, actually in a game, the game that they played against Tunisia, which they won 19-18, it was so close. Simply because Tunisia lost the concentration and the last push into the dying minutes of that game. Here they are facing a Namibian side which is fighting all through. How do you contain that pressure? Do you have to start, stop, or you have to just make sure you're just kicking to make sure you bring down the pressure?
Zimbabwe, in this match, they will not be under much pressure as Namibia. Namibia wants to win this as their third title, while Zimbabwe is here for their first time. And Zimbabwe, already they are winners by reaching the cup finals.
Exactly. Looking at Zimbabwe, they are a team that might just say we've done our best up to the final. But looking at the prediction, this one is going to be close, Alex. You've talked about the two sides. There are two sides that are hoping that by the end of the day they can be this year's champion. Your prediction?
My prediction, Namibia's number 15, Geraldo. I think it's going to deliver a minimum of 10 points for that side in this game. And looking at Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe is very capable of scoring tries.
Thank you so much, Alex. There we are crossing over to the ground where the battle is all on the line. Namibia versus Zimbabwe.
A very good afternoon from the Nyayo National Stadium. We are into the final match of the Under-20 Barthes Trophy. This match coming up at 4:30 p.m. East African time. Namibia versus Zimbabwe for the African Under-20 title. As you just catch this drone view of the Nyayo National Stadium. Two Southern Africa rivals meeting here in East Africa to determine who will be the champions in the under-20 age grade category of African rugby. Two teams with a very rich pedigree. One of only 3 African teams away from South Africa to have played at the Senior Rugby World Cup for 15s. Zimbabwe and Namibia making their way onto the field of play here at the Nyayo National Stadium. Namibia in the blue and white. The Junior Sables from Zimbabwe in the white and green hoops. And to the fans watching this game in Windhoek and Harare and other parts of Zimbabwe, other parts of Namibia, we do hope that you will enjoy the action. As the two best teams at the end of 8 days of competition compete here in Nairobi for the Barthes Under-20 trophy, a trophy that is played in honor of the late Jean-Luc Barthes, former regional manager for Rugby Africa, in charge of the African region. Played a great role in developing this game beyond its traditional frontiers. And that is how Rugby Africa got to honor him by naming the Under-20 competition under him. As the teams make their way onto the field of play, you can see the tension, the focus as well.
Supported by
in the eyes of the players. Fully focused are the Zimbabwean lads. And I'm sure the fans in Harare, in Bulawayo, in Mutare will be watching this game and rooting behind the junior Sables. Same to the fans watching this game in Windhoek, in Swakopmund.
Joining in also.
And the teams lining up. And in attendance is Jean Barthes, widow of the late Jean-Luc Barthes.
The General Manager Rugby Africa.
She will be part of the delegation here, as well as the Zimbabwean High Commissioner. She is now pictured there, as well as the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Sports, Culture and Heritage, Joe Kudo. We also do have among the dignitaries the Rugby Africa President Khaled Babu, the Zimbabwe Rugby Union Vice President Aaron Jani, and Kenya Rugby Union Chairman Odwor Gangla. It is the pre-match niceties ahead of the national anthems, after which we will go into the game. Namibia, remember they began with a 62-0 quarter-final victory over Cote d'Ivoire before breaking Kenyan hearts, defeating the Kenyans by 16 points to 5 in the semi-final on Wednesday. Zimbabwe snuck out of the quarterfinals, defeating Tunisia by 19 points to 18 before giving an authoritative display, putting Madagascar to the sword 32 points to 3 to set up this date with Namibia. Earlier on, we did see the third place playoff match between Kenya and Madagascar. It ended 49-15 to the Kenyans. And before that, we did have the classification matches. Zambia defeating Cote d'Ivoire to finish 7th. Tunisia edging Uganda to finish 5th. It has been 8 days of rugby action here in Nairobi. It has been live on K24 and the Rugby Africa Facebook page. And this is the final game of the 2022 Rugby Africa Barthes Trophy. It is live and direct from the Nyayo National Stadium. And after the niceties are complete, it will be time for the national anthems of both teams. A picture there, Oela Plau, the Namibian captain, to our extreme right in the picture. And it's time for the anthems.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll ask each and every one of you to be upstanding for the national anthem of Zimbabwe. please remain upstanding for the national anthem of Namibia. Big thank you.
And the anthems are done here at the Nyayo National Stadium in Nairobi. We are looking forward to an enthralling 80 minutes of rugby. Will it be Namibia reclaiming the title they last held in 2018? Or will it be Zimbabwe looking for their fourth title? Temperature in Nairobi 27 degrees Celsius with a humidity of 65% and a wind speed of 16 kilometers per hour. In our picture there, you just catch a glimpse of both teams huddling before the kickoff. Starting with Zimbabwe, Madzima, Guuriro, Msasanure, Kambani, Siraha, Ndoro, Chimyaya, Gondo, Mukandapi, Zuze, Musingwini, Sibanda, Nyamunda, Ablant, Ndabambi, and Marume. Coach is Sean D'Souza. And lining up for Namibia, Otto, Grobela, Shuya, Dragoholda, Namaseb, Ferris, Jansen, Grove, Blau, Van Rooy, Majiet, Karsten, Holzhausen, Honeycomb, and Boaks. Coach is Chrisanda Bota. And this match kicks off at the Nyayo National Stadium, the final of the 2022 Rugby Africa Barthes Trophy. Will it be Namibia? Will it be Zimbabwe being crowned as the African Under-20 champions? My name is Michael Kwambo in commentary alongside Ernest Akor. Remember, this is the final match of what has been a great 8 days of age-grade rugby in Nairobi. It is the Zimbabweans getting going early on. That is the captain Musingwini with the kick downfield, and it is a big and confident kick from the Zimbabwean fly half. This game is certainly going to be as complicated as a chess game. It will be great to see which team makes the first move and which team has the killer move. Assistant referee there, Sauda Adiru from Uganda. It will be an attacking line out for the Zimbabweans. Marlon Guuriro with the line out throw. Remember, this match being officiated by Sylvain Mane. And from the line out, the Zimbabweans going into the maul. The resistance coming through from the Namibians. A big drive there from Tomu Voga Msasanure. It's a bright start from the junior Sables. The line break that excites the crowd. Is this going to be the opening try? Desperate defense from the Namibians. They are reeling under the early pressure from the junior Sables. Certainly going for the kill. Mane with the penalty award to Zimbabwe. What a start to this game. Definitely the way finals should start. A quick tap there from Msasanure. loses the ball as he went into contact. Advantage is now with Namibia. And Estakor, what a start to this game.
A cracking start from the Zimbabweans against the Namibians, and we could see even the Namibians tried to resist from that line of defense, forcing them all backwards. But a big carry from Musasanure, and he got them on the front foot, moving forward. But then again, he comes after all the good work that he had done, makes that error just in front of the uprights to give Namibia a chance to exit their red zone.
Certainly, and this is an opportunity for Namibia to settle into the game. You could see the intent early on from the Zimbabweans. Sylvain Mane just ensuring that everything is cool and in order. And you can see the sniping there from Panashe Zuze, the Zimbabwean scrum half. Of course, just looking to get his forwards agitated, but I guess that is the work of scrum halves. They are usually the instigators in a lot of duels in the game of rugby. And a break from the base of the scrum by the Namibians, but they will be looking to get that ball to Rashano Van Ruyo, Geraldo Buix, and kick them out of this spot of bother. And it is Oela Blau with the kick only into the hands of Tavonga Ablant. This is Brendan Marume, searching run from the Zimbabwean fullback, strong legs as well. But there was an infringement by the Zimbabwean, penalty advantage to Namibia.
Marume there isolated alone after that kick receipt. He finds himself in a position whereby he had no choice but to hit the deck. And on releasing that and on being tackled, released by the tackler, he needed to release as well to allow a fair contest of the game and a penalty to the Namibians for Captain Ola Blau to convert.
Certainly, and we saw how efficient Ola Blau was with his boot in that match against Kenya, where he contributed 11 points in that 16-5 win that knocked the defending champions out of this competition. He has the first stab at goal. Will it be successful? Will it make the fans in Windhoek jump up in joy? This is Blau. Put some power behind that ball. It's a big kick from the scrum half. The opening points of the game, Namibia taking the 3-0 lead here purely against the run of play. Zimbabwe with the early intent, Namibia with the early points. All to play for in the Rugby Africa Under-20 Barthes Trophy Final right here at the Nyayo National Stadium in Nairobi, Kenya. And from the restart, kicked deep into Namibian territory, they returned the favor with a kick into touch. And obviously, you can see the strategy from Oela Blau and his men. Slow down the momentum of the Zimbabweans, take this game by the stranglehold, and eventually look for the victory.
Yeah, and this is where they get to start their defense from. We know Namibia will always jump at that line out. One man being lifted at the front and the other three lifting at the back. Let's see how Zimbabwe will be able to navigate this one.
From the line-out throw, it is claimed by Gondo Mukandapi. The ball is on for the Zimbabweans looking to drive forward, but the Namibians throwing their shoulders in there as well. Still Zimbabwe driving forward. The big boys attacking in pods there as they just carry that ball close to the Namibian 22. The Namibians have forced the turnover, but it doesn't matter. Sylvain Mane awarding a penalty to Zimbabwe. Incidentally, Sylvain Mane has officiated all the games in which Namibia have played in, starting with that quarter-final against Cote d'Ivoire and the semi-final against Kenya. Talk about the bounce of the rugby ball. Unpredictable, but sometimes it will land your way. So Zimbabwe going for the kick. This is definitely, like we said, a game that we liken to chess.
The captains this time taking the lead for their teams. Both are halfbacks. Ola Blau for Namibia is a scrum half, and Takuzwa Msingwini is the number 10, but both are very phenomenal kickers. We saw Msingwini coming off the bench in the semi-final to score good points, and this is a chance for him to start his tally on the day.
Certainly, and this is a big kick for the Zimbabwe number 10. This one is to draw Zimbabwe level. Concentrates, puts power behind it. It isn't accurate, and the scores remain 3-0. It will be a 22-meter drop kick for the Namibians, kicking it downfield. Interesting approach, because many kickers opt to look for touch. That ball booted downfield by Tavonga Ablant into the end goal area. Rian Grove taking all the time in the world. It will be a goal line dropout for the Namibians. It's quite a challenge, this one.
Yeah, and the chase game that we've been talking about, Takuzwa Msingwini winning this one, giving us the long kick. They started from the 22, returned the kick, and now they had Namibia starting play from their own goal line, a chance to attack on the counter through fullback Brendan Marume.
The tackles are coming in thick and fast. Solid defense again there from the Namibians. Number of big hits, positive tackles being put in by the Namibian back row, forcing the Zimbabweans to pass that ball under pressure. And of course, with that, leading to players committing errors. It will be a scrum down, the first scrum down of this game, the first scrum feed for Zimbabwe.
Binding, please.
Panashe Zuze missed out on the semi-final win against Madagascar. Starts this afternoon. And he starts ahead of Shadrach Mandaza.
You look, okay. No.
Sylvain Mane just laying down the law there to the Namibian front row.
Stretch.
I think they should be familiar with him by now, seeing as he has reffed all their previous games.
Up.
From that angle, the penalty was always coming. Panashe Zuze sniping at the base. Panashe Zuze. The referee calls it back. Panashe Zuze was not on the mark, but that would have been an exciting try. But you can see the vision and the wiliness of Panashe Zuze.
Behind the scrum is good.
A very sharp halfback. This is the kind of number 9 you want against a team that rarely make mistakes, Namibia, because just that one sniff of play behind them could have led to a chance, could have led to a try scoring opportunity. But then he needs to start the ball from behind the mark, from where the 8th man is, or just close behind the mark, and starting from the front, from the side, had Namibia being very, very lucky. They survived that by the skin of their teeth.
Certainly, and I'm sure he has laid down his statement of intent. This time, Zimbabwe electing to go for goal. And once again, another goal attempt, this time with a different kicker. Brendan Marume started the semi-final win against Madagascar at fly half. Starts this game at number 15, starting this game as a fullback. And you can see the Zimbabweans with the intent. And this time, the kick is successful. It is all square. 11 minutes played here at the Nyayo National Stadium in Nairobi. 3-3 between these two sides. Everything to play for.
Yeah, Zimbabwe there with some tactical, they call it like technical play, knowing that they have two kicking options in Marume and Msingwini. Marume with the right foot and Msingwini in with the left foot. They will be striking these balls through the uprights from all directions.
And that is definitely going to make for good rugby, but also good TV as well. That restart straight out. It will be a scrum feed for the Zimbabweans, and another chance for Panashe Zuze and Gondo Mukandapi to work up some magic from the base of the scrum.
please go. Stretch. Bind. Sit. Yes.
Yeah, indeed, the Namibians have to be disciplined as they enter the shove. They again give away the penalty. Just as we were speaking about it, I'm not too sure if that is the commentator's curse, but you're just noticing their inadequacies because of that strong shove when they head into the scrum down. They are penalized in the middle of the park. And again, looking like it's turning out to be a kicking game. So who takes this kick? Will it be Musingwini or Marume? The distance, this one is 40 plus meters out. Right, it's right, it's dead center. So it is 50 meters out. So this is the captain, Takudzwa Musingwini. Will be looking to get that cultured left foot into action. It's a big kick from Musingwini, but it is wide, straight into the waiting arms of the Namibian defenders. It was Ola Blau, the captain, doesn't find touch with his kick. This is Liberty Sibanda finding the floor. Then the big man, Tamuvoga Msasanure setting up a platform there. Clever kick from Musingwini. It's a good kick from the Zimbabwean captain. It does have the Namibians on the back foot. We played 15 minutes or close to 15 minutes here in the final at the Nyayo National Stadium. This is the Rugby Africa Under-20 trophy, the Barthes trophy. This is the first line out for the Namibians in a game that truly is turning out to be a final. Both kickers electing to go for goal with any opportunity that they get that is within striking range. Zimbabweans will be looking to force the turnover there as Patrick Carsten goes into contact. Was there a handling error there? No, there wasn't. That was a very desperate reach for the ball by Rian Grove, but he sets up the platform for Ola Blau. He is charged down. The pressure is mounting. This is Van Rooy in a spot of bother. Can he get out of it? Can the Namibians get their exit plays working? The Zimbabweans certainly in the Namibians' faces will be looking to rush them into the errors, and so far they are succeeding. That late release by the Zimbabweans sees them penalized.
Yeah, the Zimbabweans have done their homework on the Namibians. They know who is going to do what and when, and that's where the pressure, that's where they are centralizing their pressure. But they need to be a little bit more disciplined so that they can keep the foot on the pedal and not let the Namibia begin their stride.
Certainly, and that is a kick downfield by Geraldo Buix. Second line out for the Namibians. This game as finely poised as it can be. Definitely setting itself up to be what a final should be. It's a five-man line out, and the ball is lost. This is Zuze Musingwini. That's the big man for Zimbabwe on the floor, struggling to release it. But eventually it is kept alive by Tanaka Ndoro. The Namibians have forced the turnover. This is Blau. That was a physical contest, a meeting of two physical specimens. No winner there. The ball out into touch. A clever kick from Geraldo Buix. Just easing the pressure that was mounting. And it is that tactical kicking that is proving to be the difference for both teams, really. Because we saw earlier on Musingwini with that kick into touch. And then now again, this one from Buix really just easing the pressure that was mounting from the Zimbabweans. It is a Zimbabwean line out. The ball is kept alive, almost lost. Well, actually, Mane calls for the infringement.
Very good defense from Namibia, and you could see that this is something they have practiced coming into this tournament. Once they are defending the line out, it's a 5-man line out. They will have someone jumping at 2, being lifted by 1 prop, and then another jumper at the back at 4, being lifted by 2 props. One way or another, as the hooker, you will need to throw a straight ball, but an inch. It's like a bullet of a ball for your jumpers in the line out to win it.
Certainly, and that leads to those unforced errors. Well, this is a tactical masterclass being delivered by both teams. That was a beautiful line break there by the Namibians as Blau Grove, Rian Grove finding the floor. The ball is presented. Blau once again pulling the strings for the Namibians. He brings in Philippos Shuya. Shuya breaking the gain line once again. Zula Blau. The Zimbabweans have forced the turnover and will be looking to exit their half. Playing it downfield, and that is Musingwini. Kick that is well fielded by Geraldo Boix. Does it find touch? Barely kept alive by the Zimbabweans. This is Liberty Sibanda. Another searching run from the Zimbabwean winger. Zuze Marume will be attacking that pocket downfield, noticing that there wasn't anybody back home to initially cover it. This is Jonathan Hanakom. Then Boix. Geraldo Boix, a smart kick from the Namibian. Well, the intention was smart, the delivery wasn't. Zuze Panache, a kick downfield. And that moment of ping pong comes to a close as that ball goes out into touch.
Yeah, this ping pong kind of thing in rugby, making sense of the F in RFC rugby football. The Namibians have won this kicking contest back and forth, and now they have an attacking ball just inside the half line. But then you should notice something about what they do after their lineouts. They play 2 phases in one direction, and then the 3rd phase back inside. If they win this lineout, this is a good attacking set piece platform.
And they have won the lineout, and there is a platform being built. And you have to give it to the Zimbabweans, disrupting whatever momentum the Namibians seek to gain. That is Neil Holthausen. But again, Brendan Marume forcing the turnover. Doesn't matter because Zimbabwe conceding the penalty.
Mark, please. Here. Okay, thank you.
And it's another star-bat goal. Ula Blau, the captain, will be looking to get more points on the board for the Namibians. So this is a kick from about 30 meters out. Ula Blau puts power behind that kick, but it doesn't find the target. Scores remain 3-3, 21 minutes played. It's a tight affair here in the Rugby Africa Under-20 Barthes Trophy Final. The teams going in for a water break. And as it has been a very hotly contested 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, and these teams are the teams that have been leading in the championship. We heard at the start that they are 2 of the 3 that have represented Africa at the World Cup, and then they are 2 of the 3 that have won the Under-20 Barthes Trophy. So it was always going to be an arm wrestle, I could call it, between these 2 teams. But you can see that the kicking game is a bit of a balanced affair. Musingwini missed the kick. Ola Blau has missed another one just before the water break. But the team that will make the least mistakes, I think, will come out on top in this one.
Certainly, as we just caught a glimpse earlier on of the Namibia coach, Chrisanda Bota. And this is Sean D'Souza, the Junior Sables coach. And his team has really roared into life in this competition. Remember, they started with that narrow 19-18 victory over Tunisia in the quarterfinal, and then ripped Madagascar to shreds in the semi-final, 32-3. And it's a game that they had to play the last 15 or so minutes with 14 men after losing a player to a red card. But such was their dominance that Madagascar didn't have anything else to add in terms of point. They're here in full complement and certainly gunning for the title.
Zimbabwe played such a tough game against Madagascar, grueling. It was very physical, near illegal. They had very many players in the medical room after the game against Madagascar, but you can see that they still have enough arsenal in them to put a strong charge in this under-20 championship final.
Definitely, and it is indeed turning out to be worth the wait, worth the staying home on a Sunday afternoon if you're watching this game. And that ball is stolen. That was a turnover from the Namibians. That was Rian Grove just using his hulking frame to draw that turnover. And then Shuya, it's a difficult man to bring down. Eventually finds the floor and easily the platform for Ula Blau to release his backs. The attacking options once again from the Namibians being exploited. Patrick Carsten now on the floor. And they play it out wide. Friedrich Grobela. Tackle coming through from Singwini, but Grobela struggling, but eventually presenting that ball. Ula Blau. It's a beautiful line break there from Rian Grove. You have to give it to Grove. That running angle there was tight, but he was able to beat the gain line. Jano Otto holding on to the ball, but eventually releases it. It's a good face of play for the Namibians. They lose possession just as we praise them for their good face play. And then that daring run from Tanaka Ndabambi, but he gets a foot out into touch.
Then the Zimbabweans have their hands up in the air, calling to the referee that there's the attacking players on the floor holding on, but Namibia have the advantage. They have the knowledge. They've played with Sylvain Mane as a center referee. They know that they will have that 1 second or two to hold on to the ball and wait for their support players to ruck over and secure that ball at the breakdown.
Indeed, 17 minutes remain here in the first half at Nyayo National Stadium. Is a Namibian player on the floor receiving medical attention as play continues. And let's see Namibia execute that well-worked move again from the line-out. The delivery was messy, but eventually claimed by Jano Otto, finding the floor rather belaboredly. Ula Blau will be executing the box kick. This one is under pressure, and therefore he's forced to slice it and give away possession to the Zimbabweans. An attacking option for Zimbabwe, and this is Liberty Sibanda. Liberty Sibanda is going to score the game's opening try and under the post, punishing that mistake by the Namibians. The response from Zimbabwe was massive, focused and incisive. Liberty Sibanda with that 5-pointer, the first try of the game. Everything to play for as Zimbabwe lead by 8 points to 3 with the conversion to come.
That's a beautiful try and the show of intent from the Zimbabweans after that poor kick by Ola Blau, and Brendan Marume in space offloads it to Liberty Sibanda, and there's no one that was going to deny Liberty Sibanda. You can see the joy in their face, but like we said earlier, the team that makes the least mistakes will come out on top of this one. And the first mistake that Namibia have made, Zimbabwe have struck.
And that mistake coming from a man who has not put a foot wrong in this tournament until that kick, Ula Blau, the Namibian captain. Will it be costly? And also, will this kick from Brendan Marume deliver with it healthy returns? Marume making a mess of that conversion. It remains tight, 8-3 in favor of Zimbabwe. But you can see that incisive running from Sibanda. And once he slipped away from Geraldo Boix, there was no stopping him. Though you feel Geraldo Boix should have committed himself a bit more in the tackle because he had him by the waist. It was all about just wrapping his arms around Sibanda's waist. But not to take anything away from Liberty Sibanda. He scores the game's opening try. Advantage Zimbabwe, and I'm sure the fans in Harare, in Bulawayo, in Gweru are enjoying this fixture.
Okay, blue. Okay, we go. Okay.
And from the line out throw, it is Namibia in possession. They will be looking for a response. They trail by 5 points. This match turning out to be everything a final should be. Drama, mistakes, well-worked tries as well. Mane playing the advantage as the Namibians continue to drive forward. Neil Holzhausen. The Namibians have been forced into an early substitution. Adrian Steenkamp is on. We'll confirm the man he has replaced. This is Philippus Shuya. Big Philippus Shuya carries that ball into the Zimbabwean 22. Ula Blau. This is Namibia's first visit into the Zimbabwe 22. Can they leave with positive returns? Holzhausen slowed down by the tackle, but it's still Namibia in possession. Ula Blau. His side will be looking to get back into this game. Namaseb, the latest ball carrier for the Namibians. Referee Sylvain Mane is playing the advantage. It will be a penalty, and will it be a kick at goal for Ula Blau?
Okay, good.
He's indicated that they will be looking for territory. They will be going into the corner, and obviously from there looking to recycle it and walk it home.
One of the key moves that the Namibians have when they have a penalty in good territory, and I think the captain has decided. I think Geraldo Boix has decided to go for points. 3 is better than 5, is better than 7. But there, I was about to tell you, had they gone for the corner, Namibia have a very, very good set play when they do the line-out driving maul from a line-out at the 5-meter line. But I think we will wait a little longer before we can get to see that set play.
Certainly, and it is a goal attempt for Namibia. Krisanda Bota following the proceedings. Ula Blau, the Namibian captain, tasked with the kicking duties. This is a big kick for the Namibian captain. And they miss out on the 3 points. Could it be that the nerves beginning to creep into the previously ice cool Ula Blau? Because we saw him fluff that kick, the box kick, and now missing out on this kick, something that he rarely has done in the previous matches in this tournament.
I think going for this penalty, I think Ula Blau was not ready to kick 4 points. He had indicated he was going to the corner, but Geraldo Boix instead chose to go for the points, and I think that mental preparation wasn't on point for Ula Blau to make those 3 points count.
As Namibia forced the turnover, that is Blau once again. Krobela finding the floor. Blau, Grove beats one man, but is driven back by Chimyaya. Boix. It's a no-look pass, eventually fielded by Hanekom. Hanekom is on the floor as the Namibians come within striking range of the Zimbabwe 22. The bounce of the rugby ball there upsetting the momentum that was building from Namibia. And one of the Namibian players off his feet. It will be a penalty for Zimbabwe and an opportunity to get out of their half.
Butterfingers from Namibia, Butterfingers very uncharacteristic there. and from the ball that was passed by Ola Blau, left to fly by Gregory Namaseb, and at that point the fly half Van Rooy was isolated. He was alone. The closest player to come and secure that ball had to just come flying in, and Sylvain Mane made no mistake in calling that infringement.
True indeed. But that was an overkill in the kick, and it will be a scrum feed for Namibia. This game remaining tight, finely poised.
Okay, go.
Remember, it is live on K24 and the Rugby Africa Facebook page to viewers in Kenya and around the world. This is the Africa Under-20 Championship, the Rugby Africa Barthes Under-20 Trophy. The final match is live on the home of sports, K24. And again, Adrian Steenkamp loses that ball as he went into contact. It's a bit of argy-bargy between these two sides. Sure, these set of players will be familiar with each other. A lot of competitions taking place in Southern Africa involving age grade teams from these two countries. From competitions such as the Craven Week to the Kotko Schools Festival. These are players who I'm sure will be familiar with each other. This is Zuze. And again, the delayed pass. This is a brilliant line move from the Zimbabweans. Can they finish it off? Looking electric there, but that final delivery from Tanaka and Ndabambi just falling short of the expectations that were built once we saw the Zimbabweans get into high gear with that move that was initiated by inside center Alex Nyamunda.
A very good play. I think both teams have done their homework, they've done their practice coming into this tournament, not just this game, the entire tournament, that their set plays are very, very good. The problem is at the end, we saw that first scrum by Namibia on that 8-9 play, the ball is lost by the winger. Zimbabwe get the chance to replicate, and this time they play the backdoor move involving the centers and the wingers. It gets to the far side and it's lost by the winger again. Very good plays, it's just that final execution that is lacking.
Yeah, and probably because of the nerves and the stakes that come with this match being a final. Everybody wanting to claim that piece of silverware that comes with the Barthes Under-20 trophy. Ula Plau with the scrum feed for Namibia. Will be looking to deliver it, and another handling error from the Namibians. Prashano Van Rooy has come under a lot of pressure from the Zimbabweans, even as the penalty is for Namibia, scrum penalty. But certainly the Zimbabweans have really rushed in terms of their defense, making it difficult for both Ula Plau and Van Rooy to get any meaningful executions when they are in possession. And just a reminder that this match being officiated by Sylvain Mane, assisted by Kenya's Victor Odor and Uganda's Saida Adiru. Disruption there in the line out, but still Namibia in possession. The show and go there from Patrick Carsten. That's a big hit from the Namibians. It's looking to punch holes in the Zimbabwean defense. You can see what they're doing, attacking down the short side. This is Buiks. Steenkamp carrying that ball another meter forward as Sylvain Mane plays the advantage. Krobela to the floor. Shuya securing the ruck. Van Plau, Namaseb presenting the ball on the floor. No advantage there, but there's a Zimbabwean player who was off his feet.
Please, you have a 2 penalty here. Okay, you take. Okay.
Namaseb looks to be in pain as the Zimbabweans are again penalized, and this time in front of the sticks. Geraldo Buix will be looking for the 3.
Please come. Okay.
Geraldo Buix will be getting points, and it is important to get points just before halftime. Just gives you that impetus heading into the break, and we've seen teams come out of the break a lot more energized by the points that they got just before halftime.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the previous game in the third place playoff match where Madagascar nearly came back into the game, scoring the first 8 points of the second half, having been about 27 points behind. And now Namibia will need to ensure that they can inch closer to Zimbabwe as we go into the break. And that's a beautiful kick by Geraldo Buix. 4 minutes into second half. I think that Namibia now can breathe a little bit, but they need to up the pressure so that they can stay close to Zimbabwe and even get ahead before the halftime break.
Certainly, and what an afternoon it's turning out to be for the Namibians. They're 50% in terms of accuracy when kicking for goal, and you can see the pressure once again from Zimbabwe that we talked about earlier on, Ernest. The restarts, the Namibians will have to defend their restarts a lot better. You can see the Zimbabweans with the intent, with the hunger. They're just looking to get another piece of clean ball and then obviously get Bucks to look for territory. But you can see that pressure that we've talked about. Another exit play for Namibia. 3 minutes remaining in the half, and what a half it has been. Has literally flown by. It remains tight, and a quick restart from the Zimbabweans. Fleet-footed there. This is Marume. Marume charging down, beats one man, goes to the floor. The hard work there was done by Tavonga Ablant. They keep it alive. This is Guriro. The referee playing the advantage. There was a high tackle. Namibia on the back foot, Zimbabwe driving forward. The try line is in sight. Remember, the advantage is with Zimbabwe. Zuze is on the mark, but Musingwini just cooling things down as a captain should do. What is the decision? Musingwini has called for the tee. Zimbabwe will be going for points. 2 points separating the two sides heading into halftime. And this is a crucial kick for the Junior Sables.
Third visit to the 22, but I think the credit for all this play should go to pint-sized Ablan, who has become like a stone in the Namibian shoe with those line breaks and setting up his men on the outside into very good territory to attack way deep into the 22.
And the kick from Musingwini is good. It is Zimbabwe restoring their 5-point lead, 11-6, as we're heading into the final minute of the half. Once again, the cultured left boot of Musingwini earning 3 points for Zimbabwe. They now lead by 11 points to 6. And the restart for Namibia is claimed by that man, the captain, leading by example, looking for touch. He finds it. Ulap Lau was not going to attempt the quick line out. Indeed, that was a very decisive kick from Musingwini, just taking the Namibians 50 meters back. And that is just where the Zimbabweans want to be heading into the final seconds of the half. Friedrich Robela and Philippus Shuya looking to work out something they have practiced on the training ground. This is Ulap Lau, but that is solid response there from Tendai Chimyaya. Namibia keeping it alive, but Zimbabwe, well aware that the touchline is also acting as a defender, will be looking to shepherd the Namibian players into touch. but not just quite yet. This is Drago Hondla on the floor. This is Blau. Krobela with a quick tap, and that short pass to number 8, Rian Grove. Krobela once again. Kick is charged down. You have to give it to the Zimbabweans. They have committed themselves both on attack and defense, making it difficult for the Namibians to execute their exit kicks.
Last play. Last play.
Just getting their bodies in the right place at the right time, literally being in the Namibians' faces.
This is the last play of the first half, but you can see that pressure from the Zimbabweans, forcing Namibia to look for options on the boot and play from behind them. It shows that the defense is working hard and they're forcing the attack to innovate.
And the Namibians lose their own line out. And that ball is booted downfield by Alex Nyamunda. And under the 50-22 rule, straight out, but it doesn't matter. That is the last order of business in the half. Certainly is as tense as a cup final should be. The teams are heading into the changing room. It will be interesting to see their response for the second half and see the urgency from the Zimbabweans as we head into the halftime break. Zimbabwe leading 11-6. We will catch you on the other side of halftime.
Coca-Cola, Rugby, Africa, Latin status, limited operator security status. Also like to recognize the ground floor, the people behind the scenes, those who are stepping and thank you so much for preparing the ground and making sure that we are well protected from all that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take the Rotary University of Stay hydrated, represent the winning, represent the winning, and you can and enjoy the 2022 and the 2022.
This is our
Half-time here at the Nyayo National Stadium. Zimbabwe leading 11 points to 6 against Namibia. What the first 40 minutes has been a cagey, a tactical one, with both sides not leaving any chance to the opponent. But looking at generally the game, I'm joined now by Alex Njue, who had earlier predicted that Zimbabwe will be leading at halftime. Alex, you looked at this team technically and tactically, and they've been very, very cagey and clinical as far as moving forward and also making sure that they don't let loose at the back.
Yes, Zimbabwe is playing a very technical game, observing how they link up, and also they have got some very good running lines. I'd just spoken to a former Kenya under-20 selector, Nick Abala. He was betting on Zimbabwe in this game because of their running line.
And then talking about Zimbabwe moving with a lot of aggression and speed, they've had the opportunity of having a try and also having their penalty conversion, which we talked about, well taken.
Yes, unfortunately for Namibia today, Zimbabwe is forcing them into errors, and Zimbabwe is also punishing the errors. But looking at the two teams, their kickers both missed 2 penalties each, which will have changed the scores.
Yeah.
And going back into the second half, I still believe that both teams are going to play a territorial game, kicking game.
And then there's been a little bit of kicking from both sides. You talked about making sure that you push the game to their side. Looking at Namibia, what should they do come second half to just pull something special? Because up to this point, we all agree this is a final like no other.
Yes, Namibia is doing everything possible within their capacity. Unfortunately, 2 missed penalties were not expected by the experienced kickers. Because as the match started, Namibia got a 50-meter penalty.
Yeah.
And they were able to convert it.
Yeah.
So we expected that Namibia was going to be 100% perfect in their kicking game.
And then exactly talking about Zimbabwe, they have taken their lead and they have to prevent any errors, and also they have to be very, very good in defending.
Zimbabwe is very good at their defense. Actually, they are playing in Namibia's half. They've been controlling almost the entire match, and expect them to come and finish this match with a win.
There you have it. Thank you so much, Alex Njue, who we have been here with, talking about the Under-20 Barthes Trophy, where Zimbabwe is leading Namibia 11 points to 6. We are crossing back to the ground for the second half. When we come back here, we'll be having the champion.
Thank you very much, Chris Migwambo, for your incisive analysis at halftime. It is time for the second half in the final of the Rugby Africa Under-20 Barthes Trophy. It is Namibia going in pursuit of a first title since 2018. And they're up against Zimbabwe, looking for a 4th title. The weather has been quite erratic this afternoon. Shades of sunshine and rain intermittently. Drizzle now falling over the Nyayo National Stadium turf as we head into the final 40. Sylvain Mane blows his whistle for the business end of this exciting clash. 11-6 to Zimbabwe. Certainly have been the sharper side, and that shows by them leading heading into the halftime break. And with the rain falling over the Nyayo Stadium, just wonder whether it is going to affect play. And as we speak, the Namibians guilty of infringing that. It will be a penalty for Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe starting where they stopped from in the first half. That contest at the breakdown, very, very strong contest at the breakdown to force a turnover as the scrum half hustled to get that ball out. But you notice something on the restarts is that Zimbabwe positioned Takuza Mswingwini in the right place so that there is no delay in their exit plan. Ball goes straight to Takuza Mswingwini and he puts it on the board to get them out of their red zone.
They certainly have done their homework on the Namibians. That execution of the line out was poor, but eventually claimed by Zimbabwe. That ball carried forward by Farai Madzima. The penalty advantage remaining with Zimbabwe. Namibians guilty of not rolling away. And Singwini goes to the corner.
He's so relaxed in his kicks, isn't he? It's like he's just kicking the ball away as opposed to the calculations that we usually see from other kickers going for touch.
I think that is a relaxation that comes with confidence, and that is what you need from key players in your team, your captain and playmakers, because it certainly sets the tone on how the rest of the team is going to play. And he's showing that leadership through his body language. That is Zuze with the delivery. This is Msingwini. The pass inside to Chimyaya as the Zimbabweans enter the Namibia 22. Zuze. Masasa Nure sticks out his opponent and brings it to Guriro. Guriro is being driven back, looking to avail clean ball.
Use it!
Just keeping it tight there. That is Alex Nyamunda.
Plan, ball is out.
Doro. Singwini. Marume. Singwini again. Godum Kandapi. It's a good face of play, but the penalty is against the Zimbabweans.
No. Ball blue.
That was that late arrival at the breakdown by the Junior Sables. Just killing that momentum they were building over the opening 2 minutes of the half.
Masters of the Jacko, world over Masters of the Jacko, do not need a second invitation when the gap at that breakdown opens up. Tackler makes the tackle, releases and rolls away. He will be over that ball, and there's no man that is going to be able to remove him from the ball. Nice turnover there by Neil Holshausen.
Certainly that was a very positive tackle from Neil Holshausen. And from the penalty, there is territory gained by the Namibians. Making changes in the front row. Bernd Bedis is on. This is Cornhill Dragondla.
It's not good, Saudi. What?
There will be a scrum feed for Zimbabwe. Certainly bossing the result and the tempo so far.
Hey, where's my flank? Please come. Come, Raibo. Scratch! Bind! Set!
That is quite strong. But eventually the Sables getting the better of that ball, and this is Zuze. The little man is difficult to bring down because of his height. You try and tackle him and you could be on the receiving end of a high tackle. And this is kept alive by Ndadambi. Zuze. Marume. It was a pass really to nobody, but eventually Kambani claims it. Zimbabwe is certainly putting Namibia on the ropes. Someone has to roll away, and they don't.
Not releasing ball.
There will be a penalty to Namibia. And this contest once again replicating itself as it did in the first half.
Another turnover by Namibia. I thought there was a player lying on the floor infringing on the arrival of the Zimbabweans, but in the eyes of Sylvain Mane, the ball was open and the turnover was made, and that's a very good defense from Namibia.
Yes, it is, and now they have to also find themselves in a lot more possession and playing in the right areas of the field. Remember, it is them against the clock. Their last visit to Nairobi in 2019 saw them forfeit their title to the Kenyans, losing that final 21 points to 18, and this is a line break there by Ndoro. carries that ball past the halfway line. There was a high tackle on Doro.
High tackle.
I'm sure Sylvain Mane will be penalizing the Namibians. Indeed, he does. Singwini will be looking for territory. And we've seen how efficient the Zimbabweans have been with their lineouts.
Yeah, and it all starts, I think, from the way they set up. The arrival at that lineout is the hooker is there. They already know where the ball is going. And once they get in, he puts his hand up. And in a few seconds, they're up in the air.
This is Marlon Guuriro with a lineout throw. Does it go out into touch? Just kept alive by Zuze.
Knock.
There was a knock-on earlier on. Yes, there was.
Yes, sir.
Sylvain Mane spots it. It will be the scrum feed for Namibia. It was that moment when Zuze was hitting the floor.
No.
That decision is being explained to Musingwini, the Zimbabwean captain. Remember, this is the final match on the final day of the Barthes Trophy Under-20 tournament, the African Under-20 Championship happening in Nairobi. It kicked off on the 9th of April. Semi-finals were played on Wednesday, and today being the final day, that ball, numerous knock-ons there. Sylvain Mane playing the advantage. It will be a scrum feed for Zimbabwe as the drizzle continues to trickle here at the Nyayo National Stadium. And that was an interesting face of play. We saw about 3 handling errors in less than 60 seconds.
Stretch. Bind. Set. Up, up, up. Up. Up.
This is the scrum feed. And the penalty, it was inevitable, it was coming.
Strong show from the Namibians there. Everyone was in from the front row, second row, even the 8th man. You could see the transfer of energy through their bodies very well. The posture was perfect, and the Zimbabweans who were thinking about getting that ball out were caught off guard, and the penalty goes the Namibians' way.
That's a big kick downfield, but going way beyond the end goal area. And therefore ceding possession after that excellent scrum down. And I'm sure, you know, not that I played in the forwards, but this is a place where the forwards get frustrated with the backs after doing all the hard work, getting the advantage, only for the backs to kick it away, literally kick away possession. And then you have to go back to it and start again and expend more energy.
Neither was I a forward, or have I ever been. But I think I would understand the frustration when you're a forward. By the time you get out of that scrum and you see the ball being lost by a back, it is the most frustrating thing I can imagine for a forward. And then yet again, like we were saying in the first half, and as we had just seen, when Namibia are on the defense in the scrum, all the 8 men getting a very good shove, and if the opposing scrum is not ready for that, they will be giving away scrum after penalty, scrum penalty after scrum penalty.
And that big shove in the Namibian scrum downs seems to be a trademark, because also for their seniors, they tend to execute the same. A rare handling error from Marume. Looked to have jumped that tackle. Exit play there from Zimbabwe. Just killing the territory that Namibia were looking to build on. It's their big number 12, Alex Nyamunda. Setting up that platform for Friedrich Grobela to execute the line-out throw for Namibia. 30 minutes remain in the second half. 5 points separating the two sides. It is Zimbabwe in the green and white hoops, leading Namibia in the blue and white by 11 points to 6.
Okay, come.
And the Zimbabweans guilty of collapsing. I'm sure the referee will be playing the penalty advantage. Doesn't matter because the ball is carried forward by Patrick Karsten. He's stopped on the 22, creates a platform for Ulaplau. This is one of the replacements for Namibia.
Yes.
That is Henry Rousseau. Zimbabweans certainly feeling the pressure. They've conceded 3 penalties, and this is an opportunity for Geraldo Boix to get points on the board for the Namibians. Remember, they're still very much in this match.
Yeah, the Namibians are now piling on the pressure. They have come to a time which is the most perfect time, just around the 60-minute mark is when they up the tempo in the game. They got a penalty off the scrum, didn't make much use of it, but then made amends, and now they've advanced steadily into the 22 with a penalty just about 25 meters away from the upright.
This is Geraldo Boix with the penalty. Brings the deficit to 2 points. It is 11-9. Everything to play for, but that has been the case right from minute 1. Zimbabwe with the narrow 11-9 lead over Namibia. The Africa Under-20 title is at stake as the little drizzle continues to trickle down here at the Nyayo National Stadium. That restart is high, it is hanging, it is tapped behind for the Zimbabweans, retaining possession. It's Nyamunda. Musingwini with another high ball, the chase is on. And the ball is claimed by Adrian Steenkamp, looking to force the Zimbabwean defenders to turn. Doesn't find touch. They will be looking for the exit play. Played downfield. It's a bit of ping pong. Just the way you'd want to play as the rain falls down on the Nyayo Stadium turf. And he had broken the tackle there, just bundled out into touch. Just hope the cameraman is okay. He needs to bring us good pictures from that side of the pitch.
I think you could see the cameraman go hit the ground, and there's that smile on his face with the glasses. I think it must have been such a funny scene there.
You can't believe he was on the floor moments ago. This was it. That was the moment. Everybody went down. Zimbabwean player, Namibian player, and the cameraman. A light moment here in this tense final. 26 minutes remaining, everything to play for. The ball is lost. It is advantage Zimbabwe. You can see the commitment from Brendan Marume. Force that initial turnover. The frustration is there for both teams, but it is the team that retains a hint of composure that will be running away with the title.
Very, very fine margins in this game of rugby. That I thought at that point, as the defender is trying to rip the ball out of your hands, if it falls backwards, it's play on because it's been ripped. But in the eyes of center referee Sylvain Mane, it's been ripped. That's a knock-on from the ball carrier.
Well, I guess all match officials have got different interpretations to the law. The wet ball will make it difficult here as the drizzle is morphing into a steady downpour of rain. Ulaplau with that kick downfield is fielded by Tavonga Ablant. Created those opportunities, and this is Ablant just loses that ball as he attempted that grabber. Will be a knock-on and a scrum feed for Namibia. Tavonga Ablant has certainly played his heart out for the Junior Sables. as Sean D'Souza makes changes for Zimbabwe in the forwards. Muzuma Gutu is on.
Substitution, blue.
Coming into the back row. Gondo Mkandapi is the man who took out the cameraman. The big Zimbabwean number 8. Scored 2 tries in that semi-final win against Madagascar. Crisanda Bota looks like he's waiting for a bus more than he is focusing on the game here. Calm, collected. Looks like he knows his bus or plane is on schedule. And all he can do is relax and wait for it.
I think Crisanda will be hoping that as he's on his bus, he is there with the Under-20 Championship trophy. But as the rain pours down here, I think it's going to be a bit of tough to adjust for both teams which enjoy playing with their backs. But as we can see, Namibia moving the ball well. It's like they're playing on a dry ground, aren't they?
Definitely. They will be enjoying these spells of play. Brian Bear is on for the final 24 minutes for Namibia. That is Krobela. Krobela to the floor, then Bear loses the ball on the tackle. That was a very decisive tackle from Kambani. And the Zimbabweans in possession once again. Beautiful reverse pass. Beautiful play, and this is a second try for Zimbabwe. It is that man, Panache Zuze, finishing off that flowing counter-attack move by the Junior Sables. 16-9 with the conversion to come. Zimbabwe in the ascendancy.
Zimbabwe yet again. We saw that first try by oh my God, have I forgotten the name? By Liberty Sibanda. That first try came off a mistake by the number 9 as Ola Blau attempted the box kick. This second try has come off the number 9 yet again. Tackled and loses the ball forward. And on that counter-attack, it is Zuze that manages to find the space in the middle after those beautiful offloads to extend Zimbabwe's lead.
Certainly, as we set ourselves up for an exciting final 23 minutes. This is a decisive kick from the captain, Takudzwa Msingwini. And Namibia being punished, the hard work being undone by their halfbacks, have been slow off the set pieces. And they are being punished by the Zimbabweans. The kick from Msingwini sails wide. Sean D'Souza doesn't look relaxed yet. 7 points separating the two teams. Namibia just need a converted try to draw level.
Sean D'Souza is as if he's sitting on a hot seat there, but like we've seen in the previous games, he always chooses one of his players to sit with him up there in the technical area. I think this is some good mentorship going on from the Southern African nation.
It certainly is, giving the players a different view of the game. There was a knock-on at the restart. It will be a scrum feed for Namibia. They have all the work to do. They need to score 8 unanswered points if they need to have any hopes of reclaiming the title that they last won in 2018.
Sorry guys, sorry. Please bind it. Bind it.
The Zimbabweans in the ascendancy here, and their fans breaking into full voice in the stands here at the Nyayo National Stadium. I'm sure the fans watching this game in Harare and other parts of Zimbabwe are enjoying the action. Brian Bear is on for Ula Plau. There was a handling error there by Holzhausen. The unforced errors coming in. And Ula Plau still in this match.
Knock on blue.
Brian Bear has come into the halfback position. Ula Plau has been deployed to the wing.
Please come. Scotch. Bye. Set up.
It's another strong drive from the Namibians, but it doesn't matter because Gondom Kandapi carries that ball 5 meters forward. But the Namibians forcing the turnover as the rain falls steadily here at the Nyayo National Stadium. There's no clear release there, but it's still Namibia in possession. And the penalty there, the Zimbabweans guilty of not rolling away. Sylvain Mane penalizing the Zimbabweans. Geraldo Quakes looking for territory. It just isn't Namibia's afternoon.
Yeah, it's those uncharacteristic errors that they are making that are letting them down. You can see the disappointment, the frustration in Geraldo Buick's face. That what could have been a kickable 3 points, they opt to go for 5 in the corner with the line out, and he kicks it somehow. It ends into touch and goal, and that's a free scrum down. That's a free play for the Zimbabweans at that point.
Indeed, the Zimbabweans certainly relishing the turn of events.
Stability. This fit. Stay.
It's another big drive from the Namibians. But Gondom Kandapi getting a whiff of possession, able to break as he loves to do. Contest on the floor was furious, but eventually claimed. And that's a kick downfield from Singwini. It is fielded by Adrian Steenkamp. Another kick downfield, anybody's ball. Instead, Tavonga Ablant cleaning it up. And this is Zuze. Zuze has certainly been a breath of fresh air. Remember, that ball was passed back into the 22, and when he looked for territory, in fine touch, straight out, it will be a Namibian line out. Friedrich Robela, the Namibian hooker, will need to execute something that is delivered and kept by the Namibian forwards.
Namibia's set play in such a situation is to play the 5+1 in their line-out drive. They win that ball. There is a forward in the scrum half's position, and he will have to join in there, and they can push the ball. But then Zimbabwe do well with the contest in the air. They force a handling error, and they win the ball.
Substitution.
Look to run down the clock. There is a substitution being made. And it is actually the Namibians making another change. Darren Buicks is on in the back row.
Okay, knock on blue.
And he comes in for
Scratch.
Alexander Jansen. 17 minutes remain here in Nairobi. 7 points separating the two sides. Another big drive from the Namibians, but the ball immediately fielded by Zimbabwe. Another smart kick from Singwini, fielded by Ulaplau, the Namibian captain, taking matters into his own hands, running into contact, presenting the ball on the floor. This is Bear. Books.
Behind.
He is struggling with his kicks this afternoon. Ablant to relieve the pressure that the Namibians sought to build. And no opportunity for the quick line out. Certainly the Zimbabweans are playing safe, and that's an aspect of their game that we have noticed, taking no chances whenever they find themselves deep in their 22, and they ensure that either Ablant, Marume or Musingwini are in positions to first of all field the ball and then look for territory.
Yeah, I think that was some safe play, some smart play as well from Geraldo Buicks to kick that ball behind the Zimbabwean territory, well knowing that they found it hard today to break the defensive line of the Zimbabweans. Zimbabwe has 2 tries against 0 for the Namibians. It's time they started trying other means of getting behind that gain line, and one of those is by kicking behind them.
No.
They're just marshalling his forwards. that was Kambani struggling to roll away, but not in time. Penalty quickly taken by Bear. Carries that ball into the Zimbabwean 22. Rian Grove just fending off Kambani. This is Furious from Namibia playing with intent at this point in time. Burnt Beddies, big Burnt Beddies carries that ball another 3 meters for the Namibians. As they go in pursuit of their first try. This is another big drive, and he gets there. Namibia are still in the game. The try is good from Burnt Beddies. Big Burnt Beddies going over the whitewash. 16-14, everything to play for.
When we talked about Namibia looking for other ways to get behind the gain line, I didn't think that they would go for their forwards and use them as a battering ram, pick and drive after pick and drive. And Bernd Bukes was there, 3 men on him, but with just one support carrier there, and he was able to go over the white line. Just place the ball on the line, and Sylvain Mane was satisfied to award the try.
The ensuing kick means everything. This is a pressure kick, a big kick for Geraldo Buix. If he converts it, it ties the score. It sails just wide. The drama continues here in Nairobi. Not the best of afternoons for Geraldo Buix. 2 points. The question is, will Namibia be able to mount that comeback, or will Zimbabwe hang on? Singwini, relaxed as ever, gets the restart going. Another high and hanging kick from the Zimbabwean fly half. Ula Plau unable to field that ball, and Zimbabwe now with the momentum. This is Msasanure. Zuze. Now Nyamunda. There's a big tackle on Brian Chiang. But they will go back for the scrum down from that initial knock-on by Ula Plau. Actually, it is a penalty. And Zimbabwe electing to go for goal.
Knock-on, we go, take it. No.
The Namibians being penalized for that offside at the restart. The decision is made by the Zimbabwean players to go for the through. Kusanda Bota, and emotional. His face not giving anything away. This is a big kick for Marume. 12 minutes remain here at the Nyayo National Stadium in Nairobi, the Kenyan capital city. This has been an engaging cup final, the Rugby Africa Barthes Under-20 trophy. Zimbabwe leading Namibia by 2 points. Marume is sure with the kick, extending Zimbabwe's lead to 5 points. Current scores 19-14, 11 minutes left at the Nyayo National Stadium. That was a big kick from the Zimbabwean fullback between the sticks. The Zimbabwean fans are breaking into full voice as this Southern Africa rugby derby plays out in Nairobi.
Yeah, you can see the fans are clearly showing their joy and jubilation in knowing that they're inching closer. Just 10 minutes to play the final. Chris Sanders' face did not show much of an emotion, but we very well know that inside he knows that the pressure is now building up, and he's running out of time for his boys to come back into this game and win it.
As we speak, Namibia fluffing their own line out. Wasn't straight, and it will be advantage Zimbabwe. Just the kind of decisions you'd want heading into the final 10 minutes. But then, in spite of the decisions going Zimbabwe's way at this point in time, remember, it's only 5 points. Namibia, with a converted try, can win this game.
Yeah, the rugby score, like we've been saying time and time again through these tournaments, is that the score can be deceptive. The other weekend we saw Tunisia come back nearly to usurp Zimbabwe, but Zimbabwe scored that last-minute try to win the game, and they have gone all the way into the final. Namibia the other weekend had, the other day against Kenya, had a 16-point margin, but the moment Kenya scored, it looked like they needed to hold on even tighter, because it can look like a big gap, and one score, you're in big trouble.
Certainly, and the next 10 minutes will be critical for both teams. Zimbabwe and Namibia both need to keep their heads. Brian Bear there is having a word with his backs.
Please. Number 8. Please, number 8. Right, Scotch.
The two halfbacks there
Bind.
will be contesting for this ball.
Set up.
And the penalty advantage is with Namibia. The Zimbabweans come guilty of collapsing. The Zimbabwe players are offside, and I'm sure Bota in the stands will be urging his team to drive on. Mane will be ready to penalize the Zimbabweans. But this is Namibia with the momentum. This is Boex. That was Darren Boex. There was a penalty coming.
We have a two penalty here or here. Okay, here. Okay, number 3.
Indeed, the penalty against Zimbabwe following that high tackle. The drama in Nairobi continues to unfold. Still is anybody's game. Brian Bear plays it tight. They will be looking for big burnt beddies. We saw him barge over the try line for Namibia's first try. This is Drago Hondla. Bear.
Tackle, move. Stay.
And the try line beckoning. This is Grove. Ryan Grove is bundled into touch. 8 minutes remaining here at the Nyayo National Stadium.
Strong defense and eventually celebrations from the Zimbabwean defense. But then they need to be aware that the Namibians they appear to have put their heads down and are looking for that one try in, and they will keep pushing, but then Zimbabwe will need to keep their defense tight, starting with this very line out.
Stay.
They win the line out.
Okay.
And now Zuze will find the exit from inside their own try area. A bit of a fumble there, but Olablo is there. Halfway through, he's carrying the ball alone. He's isolated. Offloads to his inside center. Patrick Casten is still carrying the ball, but has he lost that forward? The Zimbabwean players' arms are up. And yes, Sylvain Mane, I think after a call through his microphone there, has called the knock forward, and the Zimbabwean defense have moved from their own 22, from their own 5-meter line, all the way to the 10-meter line.
He's fine.
Certainly that is how you want to be playing when you hold a narrow lead like this, keeping your opponents away from the strike zone. The discipline of the Zimbabwean team in these final 8 minutes really matters.
Scotch.
But for Namibia as well, is it going to be a second heartbreak in Nairobi? Remember, they lost the 2019 final to Kenya by 21 points to 18. A costly error, perhaps, from Marume. So playing it on the floor. This is Bear, carries that ball into the 22. This is Steenkamp. Referee is playing the advantage for offside. A big hit from Steenkamp. The ball is presented on the floor. Bear, Beddies, the try line is in sight.
No.
And is this the opportunity? Ulaplau loses it forward, or does he not?
Yes.
He didn't look sure as he rose from the floor. He lost it forward, but you can see attacking intent. It's still a penalty advantage for Namibia.
No.
Namibians will be looking for the 5 to tie this game. This is Beddies. Beddies will back himself to go over the chalk. Not this time. Numbers arriving there for Namibia. Is desperate. The advantage is still with the Namibians. 5 minutes remain here at the Nyayo National Stadium. Brian Bear brings in Boex. Boex with the dummy. Runs into traffic. He is being slowed down by Simbarashe Siraha. A big defensive effort, but the referee playing the advantage. High drama at the Nyayo National Stadium.
Multiple penalties given away by the Zimbabwean defense. They will need to watch their discipline unless someone goes to the bin, which will significantly affect their defense, defending for their lives in these final 5 minutes of the match.
Yes, and as we speak, it's still the Namibians with the possession. Rian Grove going into contact. This is Holzhausen. Penalty count here is out of the roof. 16 penalties to 9. Zimbabwe with 16 penalties and the momentum in their favor. The ball lost forward by the Namibians. But still everything to play for. The Zimbabweans looking to exit their 22. Namibia not allowing them an inch. This is Zuze playing it downfield. Nyamunda with the kick that is fielded by Adrian Steenkamp right on the halfway line. The soggy pitch here making conditions a lot more difficult, but creating good TV as we head into the last 3 minutes. Dragon Hodler, you can see the commitment in the tackle from Zimbabwe. Namibia continue to drive forward, struggling to find their footing. The penalty advantage with Zimbabwe. That has been a huge defensive effort from the Junior Sables. The crowd here in full voice at the Nyayo National Stadium. Catch the Zimbabwean nationals in Kenya in full voice behind their team, and a big kick from Singwini certainly has controlled the proceedings for Zimbabwe this afternoon.
Oh yes, indeed. The Zimbabweans, the junior Sabos, have the 16th man in the stands pushing them on, unlike the Namibians, and they are taking huge advantage of it. You could see that defense, that ferocious defense. They are more aggressive. It's like they are the team that are chasing the win and defending from their 5, defending from their try area, and they are now just close to the 22-meter line. And if possible, they could even extend their lead.
There's an overthrow in that line out. Penalty advantage with Zimbabwe. So what do you do, Ernest? Well, actually, it's a scrum down. There was initially a knock-on in the line out. And that changes the question I was going to ask. Actually, withdraw it, Ernest.
It gives me a chance to breathe, but then also I would think Namibia in this case, first things first, secure that ball from the scrum, and then you exit. You want to ensure that in these remaining 2 minutes, you're playing in the Zimbabwean territory. There isn't enough time. You will need to time your kick very well to be able to stay in contention with the play, but then also the Namibians could trust themselves to carry that ball over 80 meters and go over for the try with just now 1 minute left to play.
Remember, the Namibians will not afford to kick away possession. They'll need to have ball in hand. We're into the final minute of the game. Zimbabwe on the cusp of victory in Nairobi. Namibians looking for territory, they find it. Ula Plau, the Namibian captain. Certainly it has been a difficult day in the office for Namibia, for these fans from Zimbabwe. They're on the verge of the perfect Easter gift. And if Namibia lose this line out, game over. They do well to keep it alive. The back of the scrum. This is Bear. Rian Grove. Big run from the big number 8. Loses the ball on the floor. But the penalty advantage is with Namibia. The Zimbabweans guilty of not releasing. So the Namibians will be going for the line out. This is probably their last roll of the dice. That was a touch finder from Ula Plau. Well, actually it went The Zimbabweans have struggled. The Namibians have struggled with the territorial kicks. It will be a scrum down Zimbabwe. That ball went dead from Ula Blau. Certainly has not had the best of afternoons when it comes to kicking duty. So what do you do if you're Zimbabwe? Do you get this ball and run it, try to get 5 more points, or do you just find possession and look for territory? Kick it out into touch.
It's the final game of the tournament, final play of the tournament. The wisest decision on any day would be to win that ball and boot it into touch first thing. And I believe this is what they will be doing.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the last order of business. We have a new champion in Nairobi. The fans are in full voice. It is the Junior Sables winning the championship for the 4th time. The new Rugby Africa Under-20 Barthes Trophy champions. It is the Junior Sables.